Deep within the African forest, where sunlight struggles to reach the forest floor, and every sound hints at danger, one of nature's most intense rivalries unfolds. The clash between baboons and chimpanzees is more than a simple dispute over territory. It is a relentless contest for dominance, influence, and survival, in a world where intelligence and raw power collide head-on. Cries pierce the air, branches tremble, and order gives way to chaos. Baboons move forward in numbers, driven by collective strength and fearless momentum. Chimpanzees answer with precision, cooperation, and carefully measured aggression, turning each encounter into an unpredictable test of strength and strategy. There is no easy escape here, because defeat means losing status or being erased from the social order. This is the battle for the crown of the Green Kingdom, a struggle where power is never inherited, only earned. In this unforgiving arena, every moment shapes the balance of rule, deciding who stands at the center of the forest and who fades back into the shadows. The Gelada is the only baboon species found in Ethiopia. Locally, they are known as the red-chested monkeys, a color that symbolizes both passion and the flame of authority. In their world, politics shapes everything. Each day brings temporary alliances, quiet negotiations, and carefully planned challenges, all unfolding beneath the open sky of the highlands. Tariq is the dominant male who has ruled the southern grasslands for 3 rainy seasons. But now, a young male named Kano, just 5 years old, is beginning to see him differently. Kano is young, fast, and in peak condition. Yet strength alone is never enough to claim leadership. To rise to power, a male must earn the favor of the females. Without their support, dominance quickly crumbles. That support is slowly slipping away from Tariq. The scars etched across his face tell the story of years of rule maintained through force. Meanwhile, Kano advances quietly, building his strategy step by step. Among Geladas, every grooming session is a form of approval, and Kano gathers these signals of trust day after day. Authority based solely on violence creates only hollow obedience. Fear may enforce order instantly, but trust, once broken, rarely returns. Kano has waited a long time for this moment. A new king takes his place. But victory does not bring peace. A leader must always be ready to face threats from beyond the group. Strong, solitary males who watch patiently from the edges. The real test of power has only just begun. Zelda's gaze follows the outline of a lone male on the horizon, a sign no female can ignore. Kano realizes then that his authority is still fragile. The loyalty of the females is not symbolic. It is a matter of survival. Pregnant females in particular must be certain that the new leader can protect the future of their offspring. A female alliance begins to form. The response is clear. A single gesture, a lifted lip, and the message is delivered. Once again, Kano holds his position at the top. Yet everyone in the group understands one truth. This will not be the final confrontation. What do you think about this endless cycle of power? Do you believe Kano will one day follow the same path as a tyrant, slowly becoming another Tariq? In another forested region of Central Africa, inside Kibale National Park in the heart of Uganda, a very different story unfolds. This landscape is home to more than 1,000 chimpanzees, and is considered one of the most socially complex environments in the animal kingdom. Their communities can include hundreds of individuals, shaped by strict hierarchies, shifting alliances, and constant tension, remarkably similar to a miniature human society. Each day in the valley seems to follow an unwritten script. The Kanyantale group is the most well-known. For years, their alpha male, Koba, was both feared and respected. No one had dared challenge him for 3 consecutive years. Chimpanzees share 99% of their DNA with humans, and like us, they remember past conflicts, hold grudges, and rarely remain loyal forever. Koba's reign was nearing its end, and a new contender was quietly emerging. That contender was Makena. The Kanyantale community operates under a fission-fusion system, and when pressure builds, fractures begin to show. In the middle of this growing instability, a key figure steps into focus: Kalonzo, Koba's closest ally, who has begun to question his loyalty. Then, the entire group seems to hold its breath. For the first time in 3 years, another male steps forward and takes control. High above, among the green canopy, a group of red colobus monkeys move swiftly from branch to branch. Agile and alert, they remain unaware that the balance of power below has just shifted. Koba hunted colobus through sheer force. Makena hunts with patience and calculation. This moment was exactly what he had been waiting for. The hunt ends as the sun climbs high above the treetops. But in the forests of Kibale, power always carries responsibility and danger. When Kalonzo rises to patrol the western edge of the territory, he encounters what chimpanzees fear most. The warning comes first through scent: dry earth, sharp sweat, and broken bark. Baboons. From the high plateaus of Ethiopia to the deep forests of Central Africa, power among primates takes many forms. Yet every leader shares the same fate, written from the beginning. Authority is born from conflict and, sooner or later, ends in isolation. Which struggle for survival left the strongest impression on you? Across the African savannah, certain encounters capture the raw essence of the wild. Among them, few are as dramatic or intense as the clash between lion and buffalo. On one side stands Africa's most iconic predator, a skilled hunter positioned at the top of the food chain. On the other, a massive herbivore whose sheer strength can reverse the roles in seconds, turning hunter into hunted. The lion does not rule by strength alone, but through cooperation. Unlike most solitary big cats, lions rely on social coordination to challenge opponents of enormous size. The lionesses lead the hunt, fast, disciplined, and precise. They glide through tall grass like golden shadows, nearly invisible. Every movement is calculated. Every advance part of a carefully timed sequence. Their target is clear, a Cape buffalo, a giant that can weigh more than 900 kilograms. But hunting a buffalo is nothing like taking down a zebra. It is a high-risk gamble with potentially fatal consequences. The moment the herd senses danger, the savannah transforms from a peaceful plain into a battlefield. Hooves thunder against the ground, shaking the earth itself. Instead of fleeing in panic, the buffalo respond with remarkable unity. Calves are shielded at the center, adults form a solid front, and heads lower in unison, becoming a living wall of muscle and horn. A single counterattack can change everything. A charging buffalo can hurl a full-grown lion through the air, shatter ribs, or inflict deadly injuries. Their horns are not merely defensive tools. They tell the story of survival. In mature males, the thick, hardened base of the horns, known as the boss, fuses into a near impenetrable shield. Even more unsettling is their memory. Buffalo are known to remember past threats, with documented cases of entire herds returning days later to track down and confront the same lions that once targeted them. This is not just defense, it is retaliation. For a lion, a serious injury is more than pain. It is often a death sentence. A weakened hunter cannot keep pace with the pride, cannot hunt, and ultimately cannot survive. And yet, the lions persist. Hunger leaves no room for caution. A buffalo is a prize worth the risk, capable of feeding the entire pride for days. The battle between lion and buffalo rarely produces a clear winner. More often, it ends in a brutal stalemate. Still, there are moments when patience, coordination, and timing align, allowing the feline strategy to succeed. The lion may be called king, but when facing the buffalo, even a monarch must bow to the unpredictable power of nature. Farther south, among the open woodlands of the Serengeti, a new set of rules begins to take hold. This domain is shaped not by geladas or chimpanzees, but by species that live along the fragile boundary between savanna and scrubland. This is the Serengeti woodlands, a vital ecological transition zone in East Africa. During the rainy season, the vast plains of the Serengeti transform into a rich, vibrant green. Daytime temperatures often hover around 27 degrees Celsius, while nights cool to a more comfortable 15 degrees. The heaviest rains usually arrive between March and May, preceded by lighter, shorter showers in November and December. With water comes change. Temporary streams and shallow pools emerge across the landscape, reflecting the sky like scattered mirrors. These freshwater sources draw large numbers of herbivores seeking food, and where prey gathers, predators are never far behind, using thick vegetation and low shrubs as natural cover. In this setting, the Nile crocodile becomes one of the most mysterious hunters of the region. Heavy rains turn low-lying ground into deep pools along the Grumeti River and its tributaries. Here, the crocodile can remain hidden for weeks at a time, submerged in murky water, revealing only its eyes and nostrils, living traps poised to strike. It leaves the water mainly to hunt or to bask along sandy banks. The jaws of the Nile crocodile hold between 64 and 68 sharp, conical teeth, built not to tear flesh, but to grip with relentless force. Its bite can generate up to 22,000 newtons of pressure, enough to crush the bones of an antelope or even a wild buffalo. The infamous death roll seals the fate of its prey. Adding to its efficiency is another remarkable trait, an extraordinary ability to endure long periods without food. An adult crocodile can survive for months without eating, thanks to an extremely slow metabolism and the ability to store energy from large previous meals. This adaptation allows the crocodile to wait in silence for weeks on end, conserving energy without losing any of its deadly precision. The open woodland echoes with deep, commanding sounds. The African savanna elephant advances through the herds like a living tank, slow, deliberate, and unstoppable. Each step flattens fresh grass and low vegetation. Wet mud clings to its skin as branches snap and pathways open in its wake. Yet the African elephant never truly moves alone. Above its broad back, flashes of white drift like moving satellites. These are cattle egrets, small, pale birds that follow closely, almost like wings of the savanna. With every step the elephant takes, insects leap from the grass, and the birds seize each opportunity. Even closer is the red-billed oxpecker, sharp-eyed, focused, its pointed beak inspecting every fold of skin for ticks. At times, it may even cling to open wounds to feed on blood. This is an imperfect form of symbiosis. Recent studies show that more than 70% of elephants regularly host these birds. The relationship becomes especially intense during the rainy season, when parasites multiply rapidly. The elephant's body itself is equipped with remarkable survival tools. Its massive ears play a vital role in temperature control. By lifting and spreading them, elephants redirect large amounts of blood flow, releasing heat like biological cooling fans. Their gray, deeply wrinkled skin is covered in tiny cracks that trap water and mud. As this moisture evaporates, it creates a natural cooling system that shields the animal from extreme heat. These adaptations help stabilize body temperature, but the elephant's true power lies in its trunk, an unmatched multifunctional instrument. With it, the elephant can draw in water to drink, spray itself to cool down, or dig into dry riverbeds to reach underground water. These improvised wells soon become critical sources of hydration and relief for many other species. The trunk is also a tool for communication. A lower-ranking individual may gently touch the mouth of a dominant one as a sign of respect, while a mother softly strokes her calf to calm it. During the rainy season, feeding follows a clear strategy, maximizing nutritional gain by tracking the green wave, the spread of fresh vegetation. An adult elephant can consume up to 150 kilograms of plant matter per day and drink between 180 and 230 liters of water when conditions allow. Herds prefer areas with young grass and easy access to water, which is why, during the wet season, they gather in lowlands near streams, pools, and forest edges. The rainy season also signals the start of the reproductive cycle. Females are more likely to enter estrus when food is plentiful. Males, entering a state known as must, separate from the group and travel long distances in search of receptive females, increasing the chances of mating. Field observations show that this condition occurs more frequently during the wet season in savanna populations, when environmental conditions are most favorable for reproduction. As evening falls, the herd leaves the muddy banks behind, marking the ground with deep tracks, torn bark, and fading pools of water. In the dim light, freshly sprouted grasses begin to spread, and this newly reshaped habitat will support other species in the days to come. With every step taken by African savanna elephants, the open woodland is quietly renewed. In the distance, under the calm of night, the Nile crocodile slowly emerges, allowing the web of natural interactions to continue uninterrupted. As the elephants move on, leaving open clearings, spaced canopies, and broken branches along their path, the Masai giraffe approaches in silence. It does not need to fell trees. Its towering height alone grants access to the highest branches. At this moment, Masai giraffes resemble living cranes, moving steadily among acacia groves heavy with new leaves. They are the tallest giraffe subspecies and the tallest land animals on Earth. An adult can reach heights of up to 5.9 meters, with the neck accounting for nearly half of that length. This anatomy allows them to browse foliage far beyond the reach of most other herbivores. During the rainy season, when acacias are rich with tender leaves, Masai giraffes feed from the top downward. This feeding pattern helps keep tree canopies more open, allowing sunlight to reach the understory and encouraging the growth of grasses and low vegetation, an essential balance in open woodland ecosystems. Yet this great height also becomes a disadvantage when it is time to drink. To lower their heads, giraffes must spread their front legs wide or bend at the knees, placing themselves in a vulnerable position. In these moments, they become potential targets for predators such as lions and leopards. For this reason, they tend to choose wide water sources with clear visibility. They drink quickly, only a few mouthfuls, then lift their heads immediately to scan the surroundings. A distinctive social behavior during the rainy season is the formation of temporary groups known as towers. These gatherings may include individuals of different ages and sexes coming together briefly around fresh foliage or water sources. Although there is no fixed hierarchy within these groups, the benefits are clear. More watchful eyes mean reduced risk of attack. Since 2019, the Masai giraffe has been classified as endangered by the IUCN. Over the past 3 decades, its population has declined by nearly 50%, dropping from around 70,000 individuals to approximately 32,000 remaining in the wild by 2024. The primary threats facing the Masai giraffe include habitat loss and fragmentation, illegal hunting for meat and traditional uses of body parts, and increasing conflict with expanding human populations. High in the branches of an acacia, a subtle movement stirs the lower limbs. A vervet monkey, alert and agile, leaps from branch to branch, leaving behind sharp, broken calls that drift through the open woodland like fragmented warnings. The vervet monkey has a modest yet unmistakable appearance. Its soft, silvery gray fur contrasts with a dark face and deep, coal-bright eyes. A long tail remains perfectly balanced as it moves skillfully through the upper canopy. One distinctive feature, essential for identification, is the bluish patch on the abdomen of adult males, a visual signal used in social communication. They are true opportunists of the animal kingdom. During the rainy season, their diet becomes remarkably varied, including ripe fruits, seeds, insects, and tender leaves. Their ability to forage both in the trees and on the ground allows them to take full advantage of the fleeting resources brought by the wet season. Coordination within small groups is vital to their survival. While some individuals feed, others remain on constant lookout. At the first sign of danger, whether the outline of a leopard hidden among branches or the wing beats of an African eagle, one monkey releases a sharp alarm call. This sound not only warns the group, but also serves as a signal to other nearby species. Vervet monkeys are also capable of recognizing and producing different alarm calls depending on the type of predator approaching. They live in bands with a well-defined social structure, where dominant individuals guide movement and reinforce collective safety. The rainy season also signals a period of territorial expansion. The group ventures into new treetops and damp feeding grounds rich in food but filled with risk, where every leap and every call can mean the difference between survival and silence. On the ground below, the black-backed jackal moves with calm precision. Its coat blends silvery gray and reddish brown, crossed by a dark stripe running along its back. Upright ears and alert eyes act like living sensors, capturing every sound that travels through the surrounding grass. Weighing between 6 and 13 kilograms, it is not a large animal, but it is exceptionally agile and intelligent. Its slim build is not a limitation. On the contrary, it allows the jackal to slip easily through low grass and dense scrub. The black-backed jackal is a clever and highly adaptable hunter, capable of hunting alone or in pairs, depending on opportunity. During the rainy season, its diet becomes especially diverse as life across the savannah flourishes. Insects stirring beneath fallen leaves, fledgling birds taking their first flights, rodents hidden in shrubs, and swift hares all become potential meals. Waterholes are frequent hunting grounds, where the jackal waits patiently for birds or small mammals drawn in to drink. When the scent of carrion from a large animal spreads through the damp air after rainfall, its senses guide it unerringly. With an exceptionally keen sense of smell, the jackal can detect a carcass from more than 2 kilometers away, ensuring that no feeding opportunity is wasted, even if only scraps remain. Black-backed jackals live in strong, long-term pairs. A male and female often remain together for life, hunting and raising their young as a coordinated team. Females typically give birth during the rainy season when food is abundant and survival rates for pups are higher. During this time, the partner stays close, guarding and protecting the family. When necessary, both adults release powerful howls, sounds that serve a dual purpose, warning potential rivals and marking territorial boundaries. The black-backed jackal plays a crucial role in open savanna ecosystems. Acting as a quiet custodian, it removes carcasses and helps regulate rodent populations, reducing the spread of disease. Recent studies in East Africa show that savanna regions with healthy jackal populations experience faster decomposition of animal remains and lower numbers of scavenging insects such as flies. This process contributes significantly to ecological balance and the natural sanitation of the environment. Once again, attention shifts upward. No longer searching for the quick movements of monkeys, but for a tiny point of intense color against the sky. Beneath the humid air left behind by the rain, the lilac-breasted roller glides through the sky like a living fragment of a rainbow. Its feathers blend shades of lilac, green, and blue, highlighted by a soft pink wash across the chest. Measuring only about 36 centimeters in length, its flight is unmistakable. In the air, it performs spectacular acrobatics, rolls, dives, and precise maneuvers that serve a dual purpose, improving hunting efficiency and acting as a visual display during the breeding season, which often coincides with the rains. Rainfall awakens the insects. They emerge from their shelters, hide beneath leaves, or leap through damp grass. This is the roller's moment. From a low perch, it launches in a perfectly timed strike, snatching grasshoppers or beetles disturbed by the storm. This species does not form large flocks. It usually lives in pairs, occupying small territories that may include clusters of tall trees and open grassy clearings. Within this space, they hunt, keep watch, and defend their domain with a harsh yet powerful call, a vocal declaration that claims the sky as their own. And so, another chapter of African wildlife comes to an end, where the clash between baboons and chimpanzees reveals a hard truth. Survival is not determined by strength alone, but by intelligence, unity, and the ability to adapt in a world that offers no second chances. In these struggles, it is not only territory or dominance at stake, but the very right to exist in an unforgiving environment. Beyond this single conflict, the savannah, the jungle, and the forests of Africa pulse with countless similar stories. Every species, hunter or hunted, lives by the same ancient law. Move forward, endure, and fight for one more day. Here, danger never sleeps, and life pushes on through scarcity, rivalry, and the tense silence that precedes every encounter. Wild Africa is both harsh and breathtaking. Its severity preserves a natural balance that has endured for millennia. Reminding us that every creature plays an essential role in this intricate web of life. When one falls, another rises. When one struggles, all sustain the rhythm of nature. On this untamed continent, survival is not a privilege. It is a daily conquest. And as the sun sets over the red earth, we understand that these moments are not merely scenes of conflict, but powerful testimonies of resilience, instinct, and the unbreakable will to live in one of the most extreme environments on Earth. If this story moved you, if it deepened your respect for the beauty and brutality of the wild, we invite you to like the video and subscribe to Beast Call Nature. Across the scorching vastness of the African savanna, life endures on a delicate balance shaped by instinct, sacrifice, and fleeting chances. Here, struggles for survival are not rare events. They are part of everyday existence, and each sunrise can mark the beginning of a decisive confrontation. Amid tall grass and clouds of drifting dust, the dominant predators of this land collide in raw and unforgiving clashes. Power, tactics, and endurance are tested to their limits, with no room for hesitation. These moments are about far more than securing a meal. They are battles for control, for territory, and for authority in a world where showing weakness can mean disappearance. Such encounters unfold with explosive speed and ruthless intensity. Outcomes are never guaranteed. In a single heartbeat, the fate of even the most formidable hunters can be rewritten. On the African plains, there are no permanent rulers, only those who manage to prevail at precisely the right moment. Under the relentless sun of the savanna, a lone buffalo grazes calmly, unaware that its fate is already taking shape in the distance. Hidden within the dry amber grass, several lionesses from the pride track its every move with unwavering focus. Their bodies are still, their eyes alert, patience sharpened by experience. All attention is fixed on the target. They wait for the precise moment. The landscape seems to pause, as if the savannah itself is holding its breath. Then, with a subtle shift almost too small to notice, the signal is given. The calm shatters. The pride surges forward, turning the ground into a storm of dust, muscle, and raw power. Taking on a Cape buffalo is never a simple task. This is one of the savannah's most formidable animals, and bringing it down demands flawless coordination. Every hunter must play a role. One lioness steps forward, first Naira, a seasoned hunter known for her courage and resolve. Even so, she understands that such a challenge cannot be faced alone. She relies on Shadow, the pride's only male and a trusted partner from past hunts. But at the critical moment, Shadow hesitates. He holds back, leaving Naira exposed to the buffalo's sharp, dangerous horns. The buffalo retaliates with explosive force, knocking the lioness to the ground. For a brief instant, the hunter becomes the one in danger. Naira manages to recover and retreat, escaping the immediate threat, while Shadow remains absent. Yet the buffalo's advantage is short-lived. Alone, it cannot withstand the pressure of the entire pride. As Naira regains her strength, the lions regroup and tighten their formation. This time, there is no escape. The balance shifts decisively, and the outcome is sealed in favor of the predators, another stark reminder of how quickly fortunes change on the African plains. As the sun rises higher, painting the savannah in warm shades of orange and gold, a vast dark shape begins to move across the land. It is a herd of African buffalo, true giants of the plains, advancing together like a living wall of tense muscle and sweeping horns. The largest males can reach nearly 3 meters in length, and although the females are slightly smaller, their strength and presence are just as formidable. At the heart of the herd, new life finds safety. Calves only a few months old walk on unsteady legs, sheltered within a protective ring of mothers and related females. In this constantly shifting society, authority is not enforced through sheer aggression. It is shaped by time, experience, and the changing seasons. Leadership belongs to wisdom, carried by the most seasoned female. She is the matriarch. Her horns, worn smooth by years of trials and survival, are more than weapons. They are a crown earned through endurance. Within her memory lies an invisible map, ancient riverbeds now reduced to dust, hidden water sources buried beneath the earth, known only through generations. Every step she takes is deliberate, guided by memories of droughts survived and calves lost. She is the living memory of the herd, bearing the immense responsibility of keeping them alive. Along the restless edges of the group, adult buffalo form a defensive barrier, ever alert. Yet not every danger comes from outside. Another force is quietly growing within. A challenger watches and waits. His horns are still dark and razor sharp, untouched by the full violence of dominance battles. His gaze is not fixed on the distant horizon, but inward toward the established males. He is ambition given form, a surge of strength and restless energy poised to erupt. To him, the scars of older buffalo are not marks of honor, but signs of decline. His temperament is volatile, and encountering a lone buffalo like him is like standing before a storm ready to break. These solitary wanderers often carry bodies etched with past conflicts, splintered horns, scarred hides, and tired eyes that reveal lives forged through constant struggle. Conflicts over status can erupt without warning, shattering moments of calm into raw displays of primal force. Still, the herd keeps moving forward. The pounding of hooves, heavy breathing, and the rough scrape of bodies against one another blend into a powerful soundtrack of survival, a reminder that on the African savanna, order is maintained through strength, memory, and relentless endurance. At the very center of this world of giants, protected from both ambitious rivals and lurking predators, lies the smallest life of all. For this newborn, the surroundings are nothing more than a forest of moving legs. The scent of its mother is its only anchor, its silent guide, its single rule for survival. It does not yet rely on its own strength. It has none but on the unbreakable bond with her and the living shield formed by the herd. It is the future made flesh, a fragile promise balanced on unsteady legs. For this calf, every sunrise reached is a triumph. As the heat intensifies, the herd begins to slow its pace. They know rest awaits beneath the spreading canopies of the acacia trees. Yet vigilance never fades. Despite their social nature, buffalo live within a complex and often tense hierarchy. Suddenly, two massive bulls, each weighing close to a ton, carrying years of rivalry and unresolved dominance, face one another. There are no warning calls, no displays, only a heavy silence that signals what is about to unfold. In an instant, it seems as if the ground itself splits apart. The great horns collide with a thunderous crack that echoes across the plain. The thick bone shield where the horns meet on the forehead absorbs the crushing blows, protecting the skull beneath. These clashes are rarely fatal, but they are decisive. The victor secures his status. The defeated turns away without protest. It is an unwritten rule of the Savannah, ensuring that only the strongest maintain order and pass on their lineage. Meanwhile, the rest of the herd remains largely unmoved. Bold oxpeckers perch calmly on the buffalo's backs, picking away parasites in a quiet partnership where both sides benefit, completely indifferent to the drama unfolding just a few steps away. As the afternoon wears on, the rising heat pushes the herd to move once again. Their formation is a true lesson in strategy and survival. They advance as a long, compact column, with the calves safely enclosed at the center, while fully grown buffalo form a living shield along the flanks. For African buffalo, water represents both life and constant danger. Many rivers are claimed by Nile crocodiles, silent predators that rule the muddy depths. When the herd reaches the riverbank, the most seasoned individuals step forward first. They test the air, study the surface, and watch closely for the slightest ripple. Yet caution is not always enough. From the still, murky water, an ancient reptile can erupt in a sudden burst of violence. Powerful jaws snap shut, targeting the most vulnerable. But the herd does not scatter in panic. Instead, it turns as one. A wall of horns and muscle surges toward the attacker, a unified force driven by a single purpose: to defend their own. This fierce loyalty is one of the buffalo's greatest strengths. Unlike many animals, they rarely abandon a member of the group. When one is threatened, the instinct is not to flee but to confront. It is this very trait that makes even lions hesitate before launching an attack. Still, during the harsh marches of the dry season, not all can keep pace. The old, the wounded, and the weakened may fall behind. At times, the survival of the herd must outweigh any individual bond. A new day rises over the dense forest as the first rays of sunlight cut through the mist drifting above the swamp. Beneath the tangled canopy, crocodiles glide soundlessly, their eyes just breaking the surface as they wait, unseen and patient. Suddenly, one of them shifts its attention. With slow, deliberate movements, it swims toward a group of unsuspecting hippos. Its focus is a calf that has strayed slightly from the others, unaware of the danger drawing closer. Using shadows and murky water as cover, the ancient predator advances with calm precision. Then the surface erupts. In a split second, powerful jaws surge upward and seize the young hippo. The calf struggles in panic, calling out as it fights against a force far stronger than itself. Other crocodiles converge, drawn by the disturbance, and the water churns briefly before growing still again. From a distance, the mother watches. In an instant, she understands what has happened. Her posture stiffens, then slowly softens. She turns away from the now quiet water and moves off in silence. There is no battle, only acceptance. The forest seems to breathe heavily, as if bearing witness to the moment. One life ends, and another continues. The delicate rhythm of nature moves on without pause. Later that same day, the hippo walks slowly along the winding riverbank. Ahead, a small group of lions rests near the water's edge, drinking calmly beneath the midday sun. The memory of the lost calf ignites something deep and uncontrollable. Driven by grief and raw anger, the hippo turns toward them. Without warning, it charges, transformed into a surge of sorrow and fury. The lions scatter in confusion. One slips in the mud as the others leap back in surprise. The hippo attacks again, jaws wide, rushing past one of the felines at a dangerously close distance. A living force of pain unleashed against the world. Sensing the danger, the lions slowly retreat toward the tree line, keeping a careful distance. The hippo remains alone at the water's edge, her chest heaving as she stares into the river in silence. From deep within her throat rises a low, rumbling sound that echoes across the valley, an expression of pain rather than a threat. The entire landscape seems to pause. Even the lions watch without a sound, unsettled by the raw intensity of the moment. Gradually, the hippo turns back to the river. Her movements are heavy, weighed down by grief. She slips into the water until only her head remains above the surface, almost motionless, breathing slowly. Not all wounds can be seen, and even in the wild, love and loss leave lasting marks. As darkness spreads across the savannah, a lone hippo leaves the river in search of fresh grass. Nearby, hidden within tall vegetation, a pride of lions fixes their glowing eyes on her. She graces calmly, unaware that she is being watched by the most skilled hunters of this land. One lion creeps forward, the others following in silence, ready to launch a coordinated ambush. Surrounded and outnumbered, the hippo is eventually overwhelmed by the combined force of the pride. The lions feed until they are satisfied, then retreat into the bushes, heavy and drowsy, leaving behind a partially eaten body. Above them, vultures begin to circle. One by one, they descend to claim what remains, ensuring nothing is wasted. What do you think about the emotions and choices of the hippo mother after losing her calf? Share your thoughts in the comments and join the discussion. The white rhinoceros ranks among the largest land mammals still walking the earth, second only to the elephant. Its sheer size is striking. Adults can weigh well over 2 tons, stretch nearly 4 meters in length, and stand more than 1.8 meters tall at the shoulder. Its thick, armor-like skin up to 5 centimeters deep has a grayish tone. Despite the name, white does not refer to color. It comes from the Old Dutch word wide, a nod to its broad, flat mouth perfectly adapted for grazing. Two horns made of keratin rise from its snout. The front horn typically measures between 60 and 90 centimeters, though in rare cases it can exceed 1.5 meters. These horns are vital tools for defense and for clashes between males. Its long ears rotate almost independently, constantly scanning for sound, while small, side-set eyes provide a wide field of vision, an essential advantage in landscapes where danger can emerge from any direction. The white rhino is a highly specialized herbivore, capable of consuming 40 to 60 kilograms of grass each day. Using its wide lips and powerful neck muscles, It clips grass close to the ground without uprooting it. This sets it apart from the black rhinoceros, which relies on pointed prehensile lips to browse leaves and shrubs. Open savannas with short grasses, shallow wetlands, and scattered bushes are its preferred habitat. Its range stretches from southern Africa to Kenya, with strong populations in reserves such as Hluliwe Imfolozi, Kruger, and Mkuze. Water is essential to its survival. It must drink daily and often coats itself in mud to cool down, repel insects, and shield its skin from the sun. Reproduction is slow and demanding. After a gestation period of about 16 months, a single calf is born, weighing roughly 50 kilograms. The young rhino nurses for over a year and stays close to its mother throughout its early life. During this time, the female becomes fiercely protective. Though generally calm by nature, a mother defending her calf can charge at speeds of 40 to 45 kilometers per hour. Equipped with a sense of smell estimated to be up to 50 times stronger than that of humans, the white rhino can detect threats such as lions or hyenas from great distances. When danger is sensed, there are no warning calls. The head drops, the horn lines up, and the animal charges with astonishing force. A single impact can deliver more than 10,000 newtons of power, enough to knock even a large predator off its feet. The mother remains constantly alert. A pair of lions usually poses little threat, but a full pride is another matter entirely. What stands out most is the behavior of the calf. Rather than panicking, it shows remarkable resolve. A newborn white rhino can weigh up to 65 kilograms, and unlike many young herbivores that instinctively flee or hide, it stands its ground. When a group of lions surrounds the mother and calf while they graze, the young rhino does not retreat. It stays close to its mother, staring directly at the predators. When a lioness lunges and sinks her claws into its shoulder, the calf releases a powerful bellow that echoes across the savannah. This sound is more than a cry of pain, it is an instinctive signal that instantly triggers the mother's defensive response. She does not attack blindly. Instead, she pivots her body, facing the threat head-on with her horn aimed precisely at the attacker. Even if she appears exhausted, her purpose is absolute: protect her calf at all costs. The message is unmistakable. The lioness releases her grip. Despite bleeding, the calf continues forward, falling slightly behind. It turns and makes a short, deliberate charge with its still-growing horn toward anything that comes too close. This is not a random reaction, but learned behavior passed from mother to offspring as part of a powerful survival instinct. Before long, the lions, weary and frustrated, abandon the attempt and fade back into the grass, leaving the rhino family standing firm in the open savannah. A calm sunrise settles over the savannah. A mother rhinoceros and her calf graze peacefully, unaware of the threat drawing closer. In the distance, the outline of a lone male comes into view, moving forward with steady confidence. His posture leaves no doubt this is a territorial challenge. The mother lifts her head and faces the intruder. Both giants stop. For a brief moment, time seems to pause as they study one another, weighing strength and resolve. Then, without warning, they charge. Hooves pound the ground, massive heads drop, and horns line up for a violent collision. The calf quickly moves aside. The mother bellows and pushes forward without hesitation, fully committed to driving the stranger away. The male attempts to circle, aiming for her flank, but she blocks his path and answers with a crushing shove. The clash intensifies, horns scrape, muscles strain, and the earth trembles beneath their immense weight. In the chaos of the struggle, the mother spots an opening. With relentless determination, she rams into the male's rear flank. He stumbles back, breathing hard, clearly shaken. He turns again, searching for a weakness but finds none. In a final charge, the mother delivers a decisive blow that forces the intruder to retreat, limping away from the fight. The confrontation is over. The male accepts defeat and slowly withdraws, leaving the territory behind. The mother returns to her calf, standing firm as the unquestioned guardian of the land. Beneath the shade of a towering tree, a pride of lions lies stretched across the cool earth, resting after a long and demanding night. In the distance, a lone giraffe stands out against the horizon, separated from its herd. It moves carefully toward a water source. Reaching the edge, the giraffe lowers its long neck and awkwardly spreads its legs to drink from the shimmering surface. Unseen, the lions begin to move through the grass. Their approach is almost silent, padded paws barely disturbing the ground as they close in. The dominant male senses the perfect moment. Without warning, he bursts forward in a sudden, explosive charge. The giraffe remains unaware, focused on drinking, its back exposed. Then instinct takes over, and unstartled, it jerks upright, struggles to regain balance, and twists sharply in an attempt to flee. It runs with long, uneven strides, kicking backward in defense as powerful shapes surge behind it. One lion leaps and manages to grab hold of its hindquarters, but a violent shake sends him crashing back to the ground. Still, the giraffe pushes forward, yet its pace begins to slow. Muscles quiver, breathing grows heavy, and exhaustion starts to take its toll. Working together with precision and strength, the lions finally bring the giraffe down. The struggle ends under the relentless rules of the wild. The landscape falls quiet. For a brief moment, the lions pause, then begin to feed, their long hunger finally satisfied. Above them, vultures circle patiently, aware that the end of one life signals opportunity for others. It is a harsh but unchanging truth. In the natural world, survival is never granted, it is earned, and mercy is a rare luxury. And so come to an end the fiercest confrontations of the African savanna, a stage where even the most powerful predators must contend with forces as unforgiving as hunger, territory, and time itself. These monumental clashes, filled with tension and raw intensity, are not acts of cruelty, but pure expressions of natural laws that have shaped this land for millions of years. Every struggle, no matter how violent it appears, plays a vital role in maintaining the fragile balance of the wild. In this uncompromising world, no dominance lasts forever. Even the most feared animals face defeat, and victory is always temporary. The savanna teaches a harsh yet honest lesson. Survival is not about ruling endlessly, but about adapting, enduring, and seizing the right moment. Predator and prey alike are woven into an invisible network that keeps this extraordinary ecosystem alive. Yet today, this ancient balance faces a threat that does not come from nature. Human pressure, habitat loss, and the fragmentation of wild territories endanger a system that has existed in harmony for countless generations. Protecting African wildlife is more than conservation. It is an ethical responsibility to the planet's history and to those who will inherit its future. By understanding these struggles, we learn that the story is not about choosing winners or losers, but about respecting the natural order and ensuring that these lives continue to unfold freely. Every species, even the most powerful, depends on the presence of others for the savanna to keep breathing. In the quiet that follows the last roar, as the dust slowly settles, the savanna reminds us of a simple truth: every struggle has meaning, and every life deserves a future. Across the endless African savanna, where the sun burns fiercely overhead and dust swirls across the open plains, life unfolds according to the harsh rhythm of survival. In this scorching landscape, true silence does not exist. Every shadow may hide danger, and the slightest movement can expose a predator waiting patiently. Here, survival is never passive. Every creature must struggle to endure. Under this unforgiving sky, the distance between life and death can be measured in a single breath. A brief moment of hesitation is often enough to lose everything. The savanna shows no mercy and offers no second chances. Only those able to react with extreme speed and precision can survive in a world without shelter or forgiveness. This land belongs to the masters of speed predators that have turned motion into their deadliest advantage. Their bodies are shaped for pursuit, their senses sharpened to detect the faintest sign of weakness. In mere seconds, calm transforms into a burst of power and accuracy, where every stride can decide the fate of both hunter and prey. Yet in the African savanna, no ruler reigns forever. Every hunt is a risk, every attack a calculated gamble. Within this brutal yet captivating cycle, nature reveals a powerful truth. Survival depends not only on strength, but on the ability to strike at precisely the right moment. Across the vast dry plains of the Savannah, Thomson's Gazelle's small yet resilient warriors are born equipped for speed. With slender bodies weighing only between 15 and 35 kilograms, they move across the landscape like living arrows. Their long, powerful legs are the result of millions of years of evolution. Shaped by one simple truth: speed is their greatest defense and the key to survival. During the dry season, their light brown coats marked with bold black stripes along the sides help them blend seamlessly into the dusty surroundings. But when water becomes scarce and every remaining pool turns into a lifeline, camouflage alone is no longer enough. Drought strips away more than moisture; it removes any sense of safety. The last water holes draw all animals together, prey and predator alike, and for Thomson's gazelles, a drink of water can mean facing deadly danger. A herd of around 20 gazelles approaches a small pond with extreme caution. The lead animal steps forward first, ears raised and senses fully alert, while the rest remain tightly grouped, ready to flee at the first sign of threat. No matter how vigilant they are, coming this close to water is always a gamble with life itself. Hidden within the nearby vegetation, a lioness watches in silence. Lions may not outrun gazelles over long distances, but they compensate with strength, patience, and strategy. Lionesses, the primary hunters of the pride, move with remarkable stealth, making no sound as their focused golden eyes lock onto a target. Their power is overwhelming. A perfectly timed leap and a crushing bite are often enough to end the struggle. As one gazelle strays slightly too close to the water's edge, the decisive moment arrives. The lioness bursts from the bushes like a flash of lightning. Silence shatters into the thunder of hooves and heavy breaths. In seconds, everything is decided by speed and instinct. The herd scatters in all directions, a deliberate tactic meant to confuse the predator. This is more than a chase, it is a battle of intelligence. Capable of reaching speeds of up to 80 kilometers per hour, Thompson's gazelles outrun even the fastest human on Earth. Their agility is just as remarkable, with sudden changes in direction that challenge even the most experienced hunters. But the lioness has made her choice a young gazelle, still not fast enough to match the adults. Driven by instinct, the youngster runs with all its strength, but the relentless heat takes its toll. At its top speed, the effort is not enough. The lioness closes the gap rapidly. One final precise leap claw's grip. The gazelle falls, and a final bite brings the chase to an end. Time is also an enemy for the lions. They can only maintain top speed for a few seconds before exhaustion sets in. For them, a successful hunt is not just a meal, it is survival itself. Failure can mean days of hunger beneath the unforgiving sun. There is no mourning in the savannah. The rest of the herd has already fled, leaving the lioness alone with her prey. Each year during the Great Migration, hundreds of thousands of wildebeest and tens of thousands of zebras perish from thirst, exhaustion, or predation. For the lion, this is victory. For the savannah, it is natural law. This is not cruelty, but balance, where one life continues only through the end of another. Exhausted, the lioness rests after the hunt. In the distance, the silhouettes of Thompson's gazelles remain visible. They watch, they learn. There is no time for grief, only lessons that may ensure survival for one more day. On the savannah, every gazelle runs not only for its own life, but for the safety of the herd and the promise of another sunrise. Unlike the small and agile Thompson's gazelles, wildebeest rely on strength in numbers. Their survival strategy is built around unity rather than silence or solitude. They move as a powerful mass, almost like a marching army. Hundreds, sometimes thousands, advance together, dark eyes fixed on the distant horizon. Each heavy step strikes the dry ground, sending vibrations across the open savannah. The blue wildebeest is one of the largest and most numerous animals in this ecosystem. An adult can weigh up to 270 kilograms and measure well over 2 meters in length. Its gray-brown coat, crossed with dark stripes, helps it blend into the landscape, though its sheer size also makes it an obvious target. Its curved, hardened horns serve a dual purpose, defending against predators and establishing dominance within the herd. During the dry season, wildebeest rarely pause. They travel across sun-scorched grasslands where heat shimmers above the earth. Strong legs and durable hooves allow them to cover vast distances each day in search of the most precious resource of all, water. Living in large herds is not accidental. It is a vital adaptation. Alone, a single wildebeest is vulnerable. Together, thousands form a moving barrier that few predators can easily break. The strongest adults position themselves along the outer edges of the herd, forming a protective shield, while calves and weaker individuals remain safely in the center. This collective structure is essential for enduring drought and lowering the risk of attack. When danger appears, hundreds of alert eyes respond instantly. Cooperation and individual sacrifice reflect one of nature's harshest rules. Survival here depends on the group. Breaking through a wildebeest herd is no simple task. Their horns are always ready to confront a threat. And when cornered, their combined strength can even force a lion to retreat. Wildebeest often graze alongside zebras, creating mixed herds that improve early detection of predators. They also pay close attention to warning signals from other species such as baboons, whose alarm calls can reveal danger nearby. Zebras play a crucial role in this shared defense. Research shows that their exceptional eyesight allows them to spot lions from more than 2 kilometers away. Once a threat is detected, alarm signals spread quickly, and the entire group shifts into a defensive formation. Even so, wildebeest remain common prey for lions, hyenas, and African wild dogs. Each predator hunts differently. Lions rely on explosive power, while hyenas and wild dogs depend on endurance. Chases between wild dogs and wildebeest are a regular sight in these arid lands. Long pursuits that kick up clouds of dust until exhaustion overtakes the prey. Hot winds sweep across the savannah, a reminder that despite their numbers, even the wildebeest are never entirely beyond the reach of danger. Spotted hyenas are among the most feared predators of the savannah. Clever, bold, and relentless. They compete directly with lions for control of prey. Their jaws deliver one of the most powerful bites in the animal kingdom, strong enough to crush bone with ease. Yet their true strength lies not only in raw power, but in teamwork, coordination, and collective intelligence. Concealed among dry bushes near a shrinking waterhole, a group of hyenas watches a wildebeest herd from a distance. An adult female, the dominant leader, lowers her head and bares her teeth with a quiet growl. Hyenas do not hunt out of cruelty, but necessity. A vulnerable calf means food and the chance to survive a few more days in a harsh land. But this time, they overlook a crucial law of the savannah wildebeest: never face danger alone. like a sudden charge. The hyenas burst from cover. Their calls tear through the air, spreading panic across the herd. The response is immediate. Adult wildebeest surge forward and reorganize, forming a defensive ring around the calves. The chase begins. The hyena leader locks onto a single target, a young wildebeest struggling to break free. With legs still unsteady, the calf runs at full effort. But the dry, hardened ground drains its strength. More hyenas join the assault, attempting to breach the living shield. The herd holds firm. A powerful adult male lowers his curved, sharpened horns and charges straight at the leader. His roar echoes across the plains. In seconds, other adults join the counterattack, forcing the predators backward. The determination and collective strength of the herd give the hyenas pause. Dust rises thick in the air, heavy and blinding. Growls and bellows collide in a tense standoff where survival hangs in the balance. The outcome remains uncertain, and for a moment, the savannah seems to hold its breath. Yet amid the chaos, one truth stands out: strength does not belong to the individual alone, but to unity. This shared resilience is nature's greatest gift to the wildebeest, the instinct to protect one another, to endure, and to keep the cycle of life in motion. The ending is never guaranteed, because on the savannah, every conclusion is only another chapter in the endless struggle to survive. Wildebeest do not abandon their own. In this dry and unforgiving land, they keep the spark of life alive. And while the savannah is often defined by explosive chases and violent encounters, sometimes it is the stillness, the tense calm before movement that determines the invisible line between life and death. Within the stillness of dense thickets, the greater Kudu follows a different path to survival. Unlike the lightning-fast Thompson's Gazelle or the powerful Nude herd-dependent Wildebeest, the Kudu does not rely on extreme speed or group protection. Its strategy is subtler: remain hidden, stay motionless, and fade from danger's view. Among antelopes, the Kudu is a true master of camouflage and discretion. This graceful herbivore is known for its impressive presence. Adult males carry long, spiral-shaped horns that can reach up to 1.8 meters in length, symbols of strength and quiet authority. Its gray-brown coat, marked with thin white stripes along the body, breaks up its outline and allows it to blend seamlessly with dry shrubs and shadowed terrain. At first glance, it can appear to be part of the landscape itself. One of the Kudu's greatest advantages is its hearing. Large, sensitive ears act like finely tuned sensors, detecting even the faintest sound, the snap of a twig or the careful movement of a predator through the brush. Despite weighing more than 300 kilograms, the Kudu is remarkably agile, capable of clearing obstacles over 2.5 meters high. This is not about raw speed, but precision. Every movement is deliberate, conserving energy and avoiding unnecessary attention. During the dry season, when the savannah seems scorched and lifeless, Kudus avoid large herds and major water sources. They know such places attract predators. Instead, they retreat into dense areas that many other herbivores avoid. Feeding on high leaves and tree shoots, they extract the moisture they need to survive. Their long, flexible necks allow them to reach food beyond the grasp of many other species. On a sweltering afternoon, a greater Kudu feeds beneath the shade of a tree. Everything appears calm, but calm does not mean safety. Hidden among the branches nearby, a leopard watches closely. With its muscular build, low profile, and exceptional climbing ability, it is a perfectly adapted hunter for this environment. Every step forward is silent, controlled, and nearly invisible. Suddenly, a faint sound breaks the silence. The kudu's ears snap upright, rotating toward the source. Dark eyes scan the surrounding brush. It does not flee. It does not move. It waits, assessing the threat. The leopard realizes it has been detected. The distance is still manageable, but hesitation could mean failure. With a sudden burst of power, the leopard launches from its elevated position. In the same instant, the kudu reacts with flawless timing. A powerful leap carries it deep into the thick vegetation. Though agile, the leopard cannot match the kudu's skill in confined terrain. While not as fast as a Thompson's Gazelle, the kudu can reach speeds of up to 70 kilometers per hour over short distances. It weaves through bushes and uneven ground, using the landscape itself to confuse its pursuer. The chase lasts only minutes, but it is enough to exhaust the leopard. The kudu has relied on an ancient tactic, turning terrain and cover into allies. This time, luck is on its side. The species' escape success is lower than that of faster antelopes. And while kudus perform best in rocky or sloped areas, they remain vulnerable in open plains. On the savannah, speed and strength do not always decide the outcome. Sometimes, silence, patience, and the ability to merge with the environment are the most powerful tools of all. Nature has given each species a different gift. For the greater kudu, that gift is calm awareness, quiet intelligence, and the remarkable ability to vanish in a world as beautiful as it is unforgiving. As the sun sinks low and paints the horizon in warm shades of gold, the kudu fades quietly into the trees, remaining faithful to its strategy of silence and discretion. Not far away, a leopard lies motionless on a high branch, eyes glowing in the growing twilight. A failed hunt has left it hungry once more. During the dry season, prey becomes scarce, forcing the leopard to take risks it would normally avoid. Night settles in, and smaller creatures hurry to find shelter. Darkness offers cover not only to this hungry leopard, but to every predator on the savannah. Even with danger close at hand, no animal can ignore thirst or hunger. Cooler temperatures draw many species from hiding, driven to search for the last patches of grass and food. In the distance, a herd of wildebeest rests while a small group of Thompson's gazelles grazes on the sparse vegetation. For the leopard, it is an opportunity. For the antelopes, it is yet another trial imposed by the dry season. They are survivors, but they are also essential threads in the fabric of the ecosystem. Antelopes, in all their remarkable diversity, are among the most abundant animals on the savannah and play a critical role in maintaining ecological balance. From the lightning-fast Thompson's gazelle, to the massive herds of wildebeest, to the elusive kudu, all are common prey for lions, leopards, and hyenas. Within the food chain, antelopes occupy a vital middle ground, converting plant energy into sustenance for the great predators. When an antelope falls, it does not feed just one hunter. Hyenas and scavenging birds, such as vultures, also benefit. The loss of a single life is not meaningless. It fuels the ongoing cycle that keeps the savannah alive. In nature, every ending supports a new beginning. Yet antelopes do not surrender easily. Constantly alert, they rely on cooperation to survive. At the slightest hint of danger, ears rise and eyes scan the brush. A barely audible sound can trigger an alarm. A sharp snort cuts through the air, and grazing stops instantly. Guided by collective instinct, the wildebeest respond, and the herd begins to move away from the threat. On the savannah, survival is never a solitary effort. Protection comes not only from individual strength, but from the response of the group. Meanwhile, the leopard remains perfectly still, patient in the way only experienced hunters can be. It waits for a mistake. And then it happens: a young antelope, distracted while feeding, drifts too far from the others. The moment arrives without warning. The leopard glides forward in silence, then explodes into motion. In a single leap, the distance disappears. Claws brush the prey, but an alarm cry rings out and the herd scatters in chaotic flight. Not all escape with equal fortune. During the dry season, every animal is part of a vast web of life. Lions, leopards, and hyenas, powerful as they are, depend on antelopes for survival. But antelopes also depend on predators. Hunters regulate herbivore numbers, preventing the land from being stripped of vegetation. Without them, the savannah itself would be at risk. This is the cycle that governs the savannah. Every species plays an irreplaceable role. Night falls slowly, but life does not pause. A distant lion's roar breaks the silence as predator shadows glide through the darkness. The savannah, harsh and unforgiving, is not only a place of struggle, but a powerful example of interdependence. And within this fragile balance, antelopes, seemingly delicate yet remarkably resilient, continue to write their story. Day after day. Across the rolling seas of grass, one remarkable figure reigns: the ostrich, a ruler that needs no flight to command its realm. This colossal bird of the African plains never takes to the sky, yet finds its freedom close to the earth, driven by the sheer power and speed of its long legs. In these dry lands, no one can match them. Here, true strength rises directly from the ground. When this giant begins to run, each stride sends tremors through the soil, lifting clouds of dust that shimmer in the sunlight. Reaching speeds of up to 70 kilometers per hour, The ostrich outruns the burning summer wind itself, becoming a living symbol of motion and endurance on the savannah. Its small wings are useless for flight, but they serve another vital purpose: balance. As it changes direction at high speed, the ostrich spreads them like sails, guiding its body with surprising grace and maintaining perfect control through strength, stamina, and momentum. As it travels across the plains, the ostrich scatters seeds far and wide, helping new life take root and keeping the grasslands alive. In this way, it earns its place as one of nature's quiet architects. Even during the dry season, when rivers shrink into cracked sand, the ostrich presses on with remarkable resilience. As night falls, the wind whispers through the grass like a warning. Predators awaken and begin to stalk, but the ostrich hesitates for no one. A few powerful strides are enough to vanish into darkness and dust, leaving behind only the echo of wind and the fleeting trace of speed. With no claws to strike and no wings to lift it skyward, the ostrich depends entirely on its legs. In them lies the proof of evolution's lesson. True power is not found in weapons, but in perfect adaptation to a world both vast and unforgiving. Slowly, the sun rises over the horizon, its first golden rays cutting through dew-covered grass and awakening the savannah after a quiet night. Darkness fades, and life returns with birdsong, rustling grass, and the steady steps of the giant. Under the harsh midday sun, heat shimmers above the land. The ostrich feeds during a rare moment of calm, unaware that within the tall grass, the sleek outline of a cheetah crouches low, ready to unleash the fastest storm the savannah has ever known. The stillness shatters. The cheetah explodes forward like lightning, and the ostrich reacts instantly. Powerful legs slice through the hot air as both surge into a decisive race. Two of the fastest creatures on Earth collide in a contest of instinct, pride, and survival. The bird's heartbeat blends with the rush of wind, dust rising beneath the unforgiving sun. The ostrich veers, wings slightly spread, fighting to escape, but on the savannah, fortune is fragile, and only the strongest endure. At last, the chase ends and silence returns to the plains. Sunlight filters through the grass, illuminating the place where nature has delivered its verdict, harsh, yet impartial. The cheetah approaches and fulfills its role. A gentle breeze slowly erases the tracks in the dust. There is no tragedy here, only the eternal rhythm of life. The ostrich falls, but the world moves on, steady as the heartbeat of the earth. When the hunter departs, the gatherers arrive: hyenas, vultures, and even armies of ants. They transform what remains, returning energy to the soil. On the savannah, nothing is wasted, everything is renewed. From dry ground, green life will rise again beneath the sun, marking the beginning of another cycle where every ending becomes a new beginning, and the story of life continues to unfold. As the first group of wildebeest reaches the banks of the Mara River, tension hangs heavy in the air. The herd comes to a halt. Dozens of dark eyes stare into the murky water, sharing the same unspoken fear. Beneath the seemingly calm surface lurk Nile crocodiles, the largest in Africa and the undisputed predators of this domain. Silent shapes drift slowly below the water, nearly motionless yet filled with terrifying power. Stretching over 5 meters in length and weighing close to 700 kilograms, the Nile crocodile is a near-perfect hunting machine. Its massive jaws can crush bone in an instant, and its rows of curved, blade-sharp teeth are designed to grip prey until escape is impossible. But raw strength alone does not make the crocodile so deadly. Its greatest weapon is patience. A master of ambush, it can go long periods without feeding. One successful kill a single wildebeest is enough to sustain it for weeks. Floating just beneath the surface with only eyes and nostrils exposed, it waits without urgency for the perfect moment to strike. On the far side of the river lies the promise of life, green grasslands, abundant water, and enough food to sustain the herd for months. Still, hesitation grips the wildebeest gathered at the shore. They scan the water for any sign of danger, fully aware of what waits below. Yet there is no alternative. To remain is to face thirst and starvation. Moving forward is the only choice. On the savannah, nothing is gained without cost. Every step demands courage, and sometimes the sacrifice of a few ensures the survival of many. At last, the leader steps forward. His movements begin cautiously, but there is no turning back. The moment he enters the river, the sound carries like an unavoidable signal. The rest follow instantly, pouring down the bank and into the water. The crossing erupts into chaos. Water splashes violently. Deep calls echo through the air, and the current sweeps away the smallest bodies. The symphony of life and death begins. Crocodiles, having waited months for this moment, spring into action. They remain still until weakness appears, then strike with explosive speed, seizing individuals isolated or overwhelmed by the current. When a crocodile locks onto its prey, the water darkens around it. Panic surges through the herd. Wildebeest struggle to evade the attacks while pushing forward. The crocodiles need no second chance. One grip is enough to end all hope. The prey thrashes and kicks, but resistance is futile. Dragged under, it vanishes into the depths. The surface calms again, but only briefly. Other crocodiles, drawn by the disturbance, move in quickly. Still, the migration does not stop. The herd presses on without looking back. On this journey, there is no time to wait. The wildebeest's greatest advantage is their number. Thousands cross the river nearly at once. The turbulence and sheer mass make it impossible for the crocodiles to catch them all. Some unfortunate individuals fall to the deadly jaws, but most manage to reach the far bank. The weakest and many calves cannot withstand the current and are left behind. This is the way of nature without judgment, without pause. A harsh, relentless, and eternal cycle, where life moves forward on the sacrifice of a few. Beneath the unforgiving sun and amid swirling clouds of dust, every creature is forced to make decisions where mistakes are not an option. Survival here depends on moving at the precise moment, reacting faster than danger, and understanding a land that offers no second chances. This is a world ruled by the wild, a realm of silent, swift warriors where the fastest hunters may dominate for a moment, but never forever. Each chase reveals bodies perfected for speed, while every failure serves as a reminder that even the deadliest predators are bound by nature's unyielding laws. The African savanna holds its mysteries in every shadow and every track erased by the wind. A land as beautiful as it is brutal, where the struggle to exist sets the timeless rhythm of life.